This is an episode you can play in school. Something's different. Welcome back to where I take a look at old text that might be a little hard for the modern reader and listener to understand and explain it. After this channel's break, we're coming back with a very fitting sonnet. Sonnet 44 by the man William Shakespeare. Why is Sonnet 44 fitting after a long break? The answer lies in its meaning. What does it mean? Well, if the dull substance of my flesh were thought, injurious distance would not stop my way. For then, despite of space, I would be brought from limits far remote where thou dost stay. If the dull substance of my flesh were thought, if the substance of my flesh, if my substance, if I were made of thought, injurious distance would not stop my way, or injurious distance. This tedious, long, painful distance between us would mean nothing if I were made of thought. For then, despite of space, I would be brought from limits far remote where thou dost stay. Despite space, no matter how much space is between us, I would be brought from the furthest limits and the most remote locations instantly to you. This is a sonnet that is written to somebody you feel for very, very, very far away, which is something I think a lot of you can relate to. No matter then, although my foot did stand upon the farthest earth removed from thee, for nimble thought can jump both sea and land as soon as think the place that he would be. Oh, I love that line. It's so pretty. No matter if my foot were stood upon the farthest shores, most remote locations of the farthest earth removed from thee, because thought, sudden, quick, and nimble thought can jump both sea and land as soon as think the place that he would be. As quickly as you can think of something, that thought can jump over any amount of continents, any vast stretches of water, over sea and land. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no... So this entire stanza is just him saying thought is so nimble and quick that over sea and land, it can be with you suddenly. Kind of just reiterating the point of the last stanza, but this is a love poem, so, forgive the mush. But thought kills me that I am not thought, to leap large lengths of miles when thou art gone. But it kills me to imagine being thought, to fantasize about being thought. I am not thought, and I'm thinking about being thought, and it can't be real. I cannot bound large lengths of miles when you're gone. When we are apart, I cannot instantly jump to where you are. But that so much of earth and water wrought, I must attend time's leisure with my moan. So much of earth and water wrought means I am not made of thought, I am made of earth and water. This flesh and blood is earth and water. It was more believed in Shakespeare's time and place that people were made of elements of the earth, clay or mud or dirt. You've all heard the myths. But because I am so much of earth and water, all I can do is attend time's leisure with my moan. I can only spend the time moaning and whining and being melancholy and sorrowful about the whole ordeal of not being made of thought. Now, the couplet is, in my opinion, one of the tightest bows that Shakespeare has ever used to tie off a sonnet with. Receiving not by elements so slow, but heavy tears, badges of either's woe. So he says in the last stanza, because I am wrought of earth and water, I cannot be with you instantly. And receiving not by elements so slow, the only things that I gain from these elements of being earth and water, I receive nothing but the ability to cry. Being made of earth and water, it gives me heavy tears. I can cry heavy tears because that's what earth and water can do, which is funny because that's the thing you're crying about. It's just this beautiful little cynical singeing of the shoelaces so they don't come unraveled at the end, The heavy tears are the badges of either's woe. Either meaning earth and water. The badges of earth and water's woe is heavy tears. It's just so cool. So that's the poem line by line. So what does the whole package look like together? If the dull substance of my flesh were thought, injurious distance would not stop my way. For then, despite of space, I would be brought from limits far remote where thou dost stay. No matter then, although my foot did stand upon the farthest earth removed from thee. For nimble thought can jump both sea and land, as soon as think the place that he would be. But, thought kills me that I am not thought, to leap large lengths of miles when thou art gone, but that so much of earth and water wrought, I must attend time's leisure with my moan, receiving not by elements so slow, but heavy tears, badges of either's woe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it helped you with an assignment or just deepened your lust for literature. I am back. I am back. I have a bunch of videos already lined up for you. I apologize for the hiatus. And to prove to you that I am back, I have gone ahead and gotten myself one of these. Patreon.com/TCPpoetry. I want this channel to actually support itself so I can keep making videos because I really enjoy doing this. So any support you can give, means the world to me. And if you have no money, that is fine. Your viewership, your word of mouth, and especially your comments do a world of difference for me. It's so nice to see you all again, and I will be back very soon. Wait. Oh, turn up top. Good night.